Can a matrix be multiplied with a number? Can this matrix be multiplied with, say, 3? Is this mathematically possible? Yes, it is possible. To get the resulting matrix, each element of the matrix is multiplied with this number. Let's see what the resulting matrix looks like. The order of the resulting matrix will be the same as the order of the original matrix. The original matrix is of the order 2 by 2. So the resulting matrix will also be of the same order. To get the 1/1th element of the resulting matrix, we multiply the 1/1th element of the original matrix by 3. We get 2 multiplied by 3. To get the 1/2th element of the resulting matrix, we multiply the 1/2th element of the original matrix by 3. The 1/2th element is 4, so we write 4 multiplied by 3 here. Now I want you to pause the video and find the elements in these two positions. We will have -5 multiplied by 3 here and 1 multiplied by 3 here. Finding each element is easy now. 2 times 3 is 6, 4 times 3 is 12, -5 times 3 is -15, and 1 multiplied by 3 is 3. This is the answer. 3 times this matrix gives us this matrix. This always works when a matrix is multiplied by a constant. If a matrix is multiplied by a constant k, then each of its elements are multiplied by k to get the resulting matrix. This is an important concept and it's called the scalar multiplication. Multiplying a matrix with a number is called scalar multiplication. Can we find the negative of a given matrix? Let's say we have a 2 by 2 matrix Z. How do we find -z? Pause the video and think about how you can find the negative of matrix Z. It's easy if you were able to apply the concept we used. -z can be written as -1 multiplied by z. We are multiplying a matrix with a constant, and this is a classic case of scalar multiplication. It's equal to -1 multiplied by this matrix Z. Let's shift the camera a bit and write down the resulting matrix underneath. Each element will be multiplied with -1. 1 will be multiplied with -1, then 3 will be multiplied with -1, and the last 2 elements will also be multiplied with -1. Now we just need to solve the expressions in each of the positions to get the final matrix. 1 multiplied with -1 is -1, 3 times -1 is -3, -5 multiplied with -1 is 5, and 2 times -1 is -2. If Z is this matrix, then negative of Z will be this matrix. How do we find the product of two matrices? Before we find out how two matrices are multiplied, we need to check for their compatibility. Only if they are compatible can they be multiplied. But wait, how do we check for compatibility? How do we know if two matrices can be multiplied? We will come to this, don't worry. But before that, let me ask you an easy question. Let's say we multiply two numbers, 2 and 3. We know that this also equals 3 times 2. 2 times 3 is equal to 3 times 2. This is the commutative property of multiplication. X multiplied by y will always be equal to y multiplied by x if x and y are numbers. But let's say there are two matrices A and B. Will A times B be always equal to B times A? The answer is not always. The order in which matrices are multiplied matters. So if we find out that A times B is compatible, it does not imply that B times A is compatible. We need to check for compatibility of each of the products. Now let's move on to how we can check for compatibility. Okay, here's the rule. The product AB is compatible if, note that we are talking about A times B here and not B times A. A is the first matrix and B is the second. So the product AB is compatible if the number of columns in matrix A is equal to the number of rows in matrix B. Yes, AB is compatible only if the number of columns in A is equal to the number of rows in B. Let's see a couple of examples. Can this matrix be multiplied with this one? We don't have to multiply, we just need to check the compatibility. Look at the rule again. AB is compatible if the number of columns in A is equal to the number of rows in B. Here the first matrix has one column and the second matrix has one row. The number of columns in this matrix is equal to the number of rows in this matrix, and hence this multiplication is possible. Here's the second example. I encourage you to pause the video and check if this multiplication is possible or not. For this to be possible, the number of columns in the first matrix has to be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. The first matrix has one column and the second matrix has two rows. As 1 is not equal to 2, this multiplication is not possible. Remember the simple rule. The number of columns in the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows in the second. Keeping that in mind, I want you to complete the next sentence. Assuming A and B are matrices, BA will be compatible if easy. This will be compatible if the number of columns in B is equal to the number of rows in A. It's the same rule. The number of columns in the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows in the second. Is this multiplication possible? 2 columns, 3 rows. No, it is not possible. What about this one? 3 columns and 3 rows? Possible. Now you know that it's easy to find out if 2 matrices are compatible for multiplication. The number of columns in the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows in the second. Only then will the multiplication be possible. A good way to find out if multiplication is possible is by writing the order of the matrices. Let's see how it helps us. Look at the first example. The first matrix has 3 rows and 1 column. Its order will be 3 by 1. The order of the second matrix will be 1 by 2. We see 4 numbers here. Multiplication is possible only if the second and the third numbers are equal. 1 is equal to 1. Multiplication possible. The order of this matrix is 2 by 1 and that of this one is also 2 by 1. Here 1 is not equal to 2. Multiplication not possible. In the third example, 2 is not equal to 3. Hence, multiplication not possible. And in the fourth, 3 is equal to 3. Hence, multiplication is possible. Hold on. Some of you might be thinking that writing the orders is a waste of time, and just finding the number of columns of the first matrix and rows of the second is enough. But there is a reason why writing the orders helps us. Yes, a very important reason which we will cover in the next session. Given two matrices A and B, how would you find AB and BA? Remember, matrices are not commutative. A multiplied by B may or may not equal B multiplied by A. Let's find AB first. Before we multiply, we need to check if they are compatible or not. Only if they are compatible, we multiply them, else we can't. How did we check for the compatibility? We found the order of each matrix and checked if the second and the third numbers are equal. If yes, then they were compatible, else they were not. What is the order of the first matrix? It has 2 rows and 2 columns, 2 by 2. And what's the order of the second one? 2 rows and 3 columns, 2 by 3. The second and the third numbers are equal. It means that the number of columns of the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second. This tells us that the two matrices are compatible for multiplication. But as discussed in the previous session, we could have just counted the number of columns of the first matrix and compared it to the number of rows of the second. Why is it a better idea to find the orders of the matrices? It's because this also gives us the order of the resulting product. The first number is 2 and the fourth number is 3. This will be the order of the resulting product, 2 by 3. Now you know why finding the order of each is better. They not only tell us the compatibility, but also the order of the resulting product. We zoom out and find the product AB. We know that its order is 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. We need to find the elements in these 6 positions. Let me tell you the best way to multiply these two matrices. We take the first row of the first matrix and multiply it with each of the columns of the second matrix one by one. And then we do the same with the second row and so on. Solving it will give us a better idea. What will be the 1/1th element of the resulting product? It will be the first row of the first matrix multiplied by the first column of the second. It will be 1 times 1 plus 2 times 1. We multiply this number with this one and then this one with this. We have multiplied the first row with the first column. Now for the 1/2th element, we multiply the first row with the second column. We get 1 times 2 plus 2 times minus 1. This sum will be the 1/2th element. For the 1/3th element of the resulting product, we multiply the first row with the third column. We get 1 multiplied by 0 plus 2 multiplied by 3. We are done with the first row. We have multiplied it with each of the columns of the second matrix. There are 3 more elements we need to find. To find the element in the 2/1th position, we multiply the second row with the first column. We get minus 1 multiplied by 1 plus 0 multiplied by 1. Why don't you try finding the elements in these two positions? Pause the video and give it a shot. For the 2/2th element, we multiply the second row with the second column to get this. And for the 2/3th element, we multiply the second row with the third column to get this. It's quite easy to remember. 1/1th, first row, first column. 1/2th, first row, second column. 1/3th, first row, third column, and so on. This was the part we had to understand well. The rest is just plain simple calculation. Let's see what we get as the product. This will be 1 plus 2, 3. 2 plus minus 2 will be 0. 0 plus 6 will equal 6. Minus 1 plus 0 will equal minus 1. Minus 2 plus 0 will equal minus 2. And 0 plus 0 will equal 0. 2 rows, 3 columns. The order is 2 by 3, the first and the fourth number. Now let's try finding BA. Here B is the first matrix and A is the second one. Let's first see if they are compatible for multiplication. We find their orders. The order of B is 2 by 3 and the order of matrix A is 2 by 2. The second and the third numbers are not equal. Hence, these two matrices are not compatible for multiplication.